Imagine running off the pitch during an intense game because you really need to go number 2. And that's not all, trust me. Some footballers have done way more embarrassing things on the pitch, like a player peeing right on the pitch in front of thousands of fans. These are the 10 most embarrassing moments in football. Let's start with when a guy single-handedly cost his team a chance to end their 24-year trophy drought. So, 2014, Liverpool were on fire. They were on a crazy 11-game win streak and on a 16-game unbeaten run. It looked like the universe was on their side. They would finally win a trophy. They clashed with Chelsea, and that match was like a make or break for them. Winning that game kept their title hope alive, and losing meant that they were out of the title race. Liverpool players were locked in, well, except their captain Steven Gerrard. Gerrard was literally the last man. The ball was passed to him to relieve the pressure, but for some reason, he not only couldn't control the very simple pass, but he slipped. And Chelsea's attacker, Demba Ba, was in the right place at the right time. Bro instantly stole the ball and made sure Liverpool paid for their mistake. It was a pretty easy finish for him, and as if that was not enough, Liverpool lost their cool and in the 94th minute conceded another goal. 2-0. Chelsea won, and Liverpool's hopes of winning a trophy died. Steven Gerrard definitely went home feeling like a failure. But what he felt was nothing compared to what this next guy felt after missing a clear chance. Bro literally resigned after the game. November 15th, 2010, Asian Games. Qatar and Uzbekistan went head-to-head. Both teams came in strong, each doing all they could to come out on top. It was a quarter-final, and you know what that means. No second chances. Fahad Khalfan, one of Qatar's young stars, knew this was the perfect opportunity to make a name for himself. I mean, he just got his first national team call barely 2 months ago. This was his first major tournament with the Qatar national team. And yeah, he did make headlines, but not for good reasons. You see, the game was tied, 0-0. Khalfan intercepted a pass right in Uzbekistan's box. And get this, it was the 90th minute. Just one goal, Qatar was through to the semi-finals, and Khalfan was the hero. With his interception, he already beat the keeper. All he had to do was kick the ball straight into the open net, and to everyone's surprise, he missed. Like, bro, in that position it was harder to miss, and this guy still missed. And to make matters worse, the game went to extra time and Uzbekistan scored a goal to seal their victory, knocking Qatar out of the tournament. And that was the last time we saw Khalfan. But a few months before this crazy miss, another guy did something very similar to what Khalfan did. But luckily this one didn't retire after the match. In the 2010 World Cup, the Super Eagles of Nigeria found themselves in a tough spot. First, they lost their first game of the tournament to Argentina, 1-0. Their second game was against Greece, and they lost, 1-0. They desperately needed to win their third game, and this one was against South Korea. As early as the 12th minute, Kalu Uche scored a goal that put Nigeria in front. The Super Eagles were all fired up, but South Korea knew just how to stop their momentum. They scored twice between the 38th and 49th minute. Nigeria was now on the back foot, and one time they got a chance to level things up, their striker Yakubu Aigbine did something that shocked the whole world. A square pass that already beat all the South Korean defenders and goalie came from the left, and all that was left was Yakubu and the ball, just 5 yards from the empty net. And just like Khalfan, he missed. In fact, this was a lot worse, because unlike Khalfan, he didn't even hit the post. It went out for a goal kick. This was supposed to be a simple tap that a 5-year-old would score. But Yakubu, a full-grown professional, missed. But fortunately for him, in the 69th minute, he scored a penalty. But that wasn't enough to save his country. They still crashed out of the tournament in the group stage. But while some players are embarrassing themselves by missing clear-cut chances, this one scored a hat-trick of own goals. And get this, she did all this just in the first half of the game, before the 40th minute, in fact. I know, you hear some things and you're like, really? Is this possible? A hat-trick of own goals in less than 40 minutes? In the 2022 She Believes Cup, the New Zealand national team took on the United States, and that was a game New Zealand's defender Michaela Moore will never forget. In the 5th minute, a cross came into her box, and in an attempt to defend it, she mistakenly directed the ball straight into her net. She thought that was just a one-time thing, a fluke. But just 1 minute later, she again headed the ball into her own net. Second own goal. And in the 36th minute, she scored the 3rd. At this point, the coach knew that as far as that match was concerned, the defender had nothing to offer the team. And of course, the defender was subbed out. And things didn't get any better for New Zealand because they conceded 2 more goals, ending the game 5-0. But it isn't just about goals, missing easy chances, or scoring multiple own goals. Some footballers have crazier ways to embarrass themselves on the pitch. Like when Alex Iwobi tried to flex to the wrong fan. Everton had just lost to Bournemouth, and the Everton fans were furious. You see, this anger didn't just come to be after Everton lost to Bournemouth. It started a few days earlier, after Everton lost 4-1 against the Cherries in the League Cup. But Everton fans were hoping that the team would bounce back against Bournemouth. But the story didn't change. Everton lost 3-0 and the fans were not having it. Alex Iwobi figured out a way to please one of the Everton fans. He threw his jersey at him. Now, I don't know about you, but if my favourite team lost a match, but I still managed to get one of the jerseys of a main player, I'd be good. That's a good day for me. But this fan didn't see it that way. Bro threw the jersey back at Iwobi. The only way you can move this guy is by scoring goals, no other way. Just like these ladies were not moved by Benatia even after he won the Serie A. Juventus just won the 2017-18 Serie A, and all the players were coming on one by one to collect their medals. It was Benatia's turn, and then this happened. I really don't understand what happened here, or a better way to put it, why it happened. Was there a rule that stopped the ladies from shaking his hands, or they just didn't rate him enough? Either way, that was pretty embarrassing. Juventus went on to win the Serie A again in 2019, and of course, there was another award ceremony. And this time, it was the turn of another Juventus player to do something embarrassing. And guess who did the honors? Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus just defeated Fiorentina and just won their 8th consecutive Serie A title. All the players were celebrating with their families. CR7, like always, had his fiancée Georgina, his mum and his son with him. He had the trophy in his hands, and for a second there forgot that he was holding anything. And then this happened. Of all possible reasons to go blind, imagine going blind because your dad lost focus. Now we're in the top 3, and Ronaldo's longtime rival Lionel Messi is sitting comfortably in the 3rd spot. 2019, Real Madrid versus Barcelona, the biggest derby game in the whole of football. And as always, eyes were on Lionel Messi. Messi was locked in, but so were Real Madrid's defenders. These guys were doing all they could to stop Messi, marking him in 2s and even in 3s if necessary. The plan was simple. Keep Messi as far away from the box as possible in any way possible. But this didn't bother Messi. Bro kept on running at them like he didn't know they would break his legs if they had to. Toni Kroos had an unusual way of stopping Messi though. When Messi went up against him and beat him, Kroos turned and pulled his shorts. We all saw Messi's underwear that day. Kroos legit gave us a show for free. I'm sure Messi didn't like it, but what can you do? The next guy on the list had the perfect mix of embarrassment and bad luck. 2015, in the Super League Greece, Ergotelis and A. Larissa went head-to-head. Things got really intense between both teams, but Ergotelis managed to score a goal that put them in front. A. Larissa kept on pushing, doing all they could to get an equaliser, and in the 65th minute, A. Larissa's defender, Leonardo Kutris, found himself in the box, and when it looked like he got a chance to get the equaliser, this happened. He couldn't continue the game, but that's not the main issue. The medical staff came in with a stretcher to take him off the pitch, but this happened. Sometimes I feel like those staff members had a personal issue with Leonardo, because who drops an injured player like that 3 times? But all this is nothing compared to a player receiving nature's call in the middle of a match and running off to the toilet without telling anyone. You see, one time, Fernando Navarro had the sudden urge to ease himself, and he cooked up a smart way of doing so without having to run off. Calm and collected, But this guy wasn't so calm about this. 2021 Carabao Cup. Two English giants faced off, Tottenham and Chelsea. And during the second half, something unexpected happened. Tottenham's defender Eric Dyer ran straight to the toilet. His manager, Jose Mourinho, saw this and immediately went after him. I mean, they can't be going against Chelsea and having fewer players on the pitch. And Eric Dyer was a centre-back. That's not a position to play with. Anyway, with Jose Mourinho hurrying him up, Eric Dyer in no time returned to the pitch and still helped his team secure the win. And at the end of the game, Eric Dyer had a thing or two to say about him running off the pitch and Jose Mourinho running after him. He wasn't happy, but there was nothing he could do really. Nature was calling. And those are the most 10 embarrassing moments in football. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And while you're at it, be sure to hit that subscribe button to Free Kick Corner.